was simple and unchanging. Egyptians believed in life after death. They thought that a person's spirit or ka was reborn in the land of the dead, where it would live forever. Death, rebirth, and afterlife formed another cycle, as important as the rising and setting of the sun. To preserve it, they made a great effort to ensure an afterlife for every ka. The ka lived the same life in the land of the dead that a person had lived on earth. It used the same tools and pots, wore the same jewelry, ate the same food. Though it lived in the land of the dead, the ka had to return to the body for nourishment to make sure that it had a place to come back to. The grave was covered with a rectangular mud brick structure called mastaba. The mastaba protected the body and the household items that were buried with it. It was, in a way, a home for the dead person's ka. Pharaoh's tombs were larger and more elaborate than those of ordinary people. They contained priceless jewelry, extraordinary statues, and many household objects for the ka to use in the afterlife. Royal mastabas were sometimes as large as palaces. In 2630 BC, a pharaoh named Djoser built an unusual tomb at Saqqara, near the capital city of Memphis. It began as a mastaba, but it was made of stone blocks instead of mud bricks. Its shape changed as more and more layers were added. When it was finished, it looked like a gigantic stairway. The 200-foot tall step pyramid was an imposing sight, visible for miles in the empty desert. Pharaohs who came after Djoser were inspired by it, and they too built stone pyramids instead of mud bricks mastabas. The Great Pyramid had a tremendous effect on Egyptians who lived 4,500 years ago. Egyptians were farmers. Their lives had always centered on their fields and livestock, their villages and local gods. But those who left their homes every year and gathered at the Giza Plateau became part of a greater world, a bigger society. They were loyal, not just to their village, but to the great work that they were doing. By contributing to the afterlife of their pharaoh, they were ensuring prosperity for all of Egypt. When they returned to their villages, they brought with them the sense of belonging to a larger community. For some, the change in their lives was even greater. Many skilled workers did not return to their fields. They stayed at Giza with their families and worked year-round for the pharaoh. Freed from the hard labor of farming, they developed remarkable talents as artists, boat builders, goldsmiths, and stonemasons. Khufu's burial chamber was plundered long ago. Statues, jewelry, all traces of his wealth were stolen or destroyed. Even his mummy was taken. The only image of Khufu that exists today is a tiny damaged statue, barely 3 inches tall. His vision of an eternal afterlife was shattered, but Khufu achieved a different kind of immortality.